Hello everyone, it's me and INFP. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Valentine's Day. This video is not gonna be as cheerful as some of my videos in the past. Yeah. So today I'm gonna talk about why INFPs struggle with finding love. Welcome, fellow single Pringles. We can mingle together. For those that are in a relationship, I'm happy for you. I hope it goes well. So, why do INFPs find it so hard to find the love that they desire and the partner that they desire in this world? It's funny because I've been pondering this question lately, and some things that I hadn't quite realized about myself before kind of came to light about reasons why it might be harder for other people to approach you as an INFP or discover that they like to get close enough to you that they would want to get into a relationship with you. And this is part of the reason why it's hard for INFPs to find love, is that it can be hard for other people to get to know us and approach us. That's not the whole reason. So stick around. So apparently, I've been told by at least 4 different guys online that I'm intimidating to approach, and if in real life they would be scared to approach me because of my looks, I guess. And that kind of took me by surprise because I don't think I look like an intimidating person. I have a baby face, and I don't think I look mean or anything. And with my looks, I do not look like a model or anything. I think I'm averagely attractive. So it was kind of surprising that apparently it's common for guys to find it intimidating to approach me. And I do feel like I show my best self online, but in the real world, it's kind of rare for people to approach me or hit on me and stuff. It occasionally happens, but it's not common. The main vibe I get from guys is kind of that they're just kind of indifferent. They don't really notice me, they don't really care. With this new knowledge though, maybe I didn't notice that some of them wanted to approach me, but they were too scared to for some reason. INFPs do have a resting face sometimes, if we're not smiling. Another reason why I believe INFPs could come off intimidating is that a lot of us are shy. And for those that are shy, we don't come off looking as friendly or approachable to other people. It's easy for people to project negative assumptions onto quiet people. Because with silence, it's easy to project on oh, they're quiet because of these reasons, and typically negative reasons. So being shy could be a reason why people don't approach you. Typically body language of shy people is not smiling, looking down, no eye contact, and kind of crossing their arms or looking like they don't want people to approach them, even if they're not consciously doing that. And apparently, not most guys aren't as bold as you think they are, and they are not going to approach a girl that they're not sure is going to be receptive to their approach unless they're some super ESTP. Most of the guys who have approached me in real life have been kind of super aggressive extroverts, and it's not the type of person I would be into at all. But they're the only ones with the guts to approach me apparently, so that's kind of right out of the gate. It's you can't even get someone to talk to you to be able to get into a relationship with them and be able to see if that you would find love with them. Another reason why it's difficult for INFPs to find their soulmate is that they can be difficult to get to know, and they open up slowly. And in this day and age, people want things fast. They don't want to wait. And in the dating culture, that's kind of how it's going too. They want it and they want it now. They're not going to wait for you to open up unless they're a really decent person, which is getting harder and harder to find now. Yeah, hard to get to know. That's also something apparently like I heard from a guy say about me, is that I was hard to talk to because like I was quiet and like I didn't talk a lot, I guess. Being hard to talk to isn't great for the dating world, I guess. Although I believe the right person will make you feel comfortable enough to open up and talk more. So that might just be a sign that like they weren't for you. I don't think being easy to talk to is everything, because like being easy to talk to isn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be great in a relationship with them. And I believe like once INFPs are given the time to open up, they can be great to talk to and have really deep conversations. It just takes a little bit of patience and, making them comfortable for that to happen. The more comfortable an INFP is, the more they're going to open up and the more they're going to talk to you. And then this is on the flip side of like not other people's responsibility of like approaching INFPs or getting to know them, but the INFPs themselves tend to have high standards. They're infamous for having like high expectations of their partner. It can be difficult to find someone who meets those high expectations. And that's not to say that like INFPs should just throw away all their standards and just be like, I'm just going to take anybody who comes along. But I think being realistic about expectations is a good idea. So maybe like reevaluating like what is really important and being a little bit open-minded, but not just like throwing out the things that like you really want in a partner. A lot of people just don't cut it when it comes to like INFPs and people that they're looking for to like be their love interest. Like the standards are one thing where it's like if you don't meet certain ones that are really important, like you're not even going to get in through the gate, because like they can be pretty important to INFPs. But like the other part of it is just that like they're looking for a really high quality person, and it can be rare to find that, especially in like the image that INFP has in their mind. INFPs tend to be highly selective of who they want to be with. So that can make it hard to find love. A lot, not all, but a lot of INFPs don't fall in love easily. So it's not even just a question of like finding someone to approach you or approaching someone, opening up to them, and then like them meeting your standards. Like even if they do all those things, INFPs still might just not feel in love. To a point, love is a choice, but it's a combination of feelings and choice. So like, yes, I believe an INFP can grow to love someone, but even if they do, that's not common. Like it requires a special person for INFPs to fall in love. Some INFPs are super romantics and idealistic and they just fall in love left and right, while others are like, yeah, they're highly selective and they fall in love rarely, but when they do, it's typically like very deeply. Idealism can also be a problem for INFPs looking for love, because they might have this imaginary idealized version of their perfect soulmate and they measure everyone up to that image, and a person like that doesn't actually exist outside of like fiction and movies. INFPs tend to be romantics and they're looking for that kind of love and that kind of person. But I think they have to understand that like everyone has flaws and you're just gonna have to choose like what kind of flaws you can live with in the person that you choose as your partner. I believe even though like our idealized version of our soulmate is an amazing picture, we're gonna have to come back to earth eventually and realize like no one person is gonna meet that image. So this is when it comes between realistic standards and a realistic person. Like I said, you don't have to throw away all your standards of like, yes, I want my person to be a kind person and be these, because they're important for certain reasons, and those can be achievable. Kind people exist. But to just check that idealized version and realize if you're just going to keep waiting your whole life until someone meets that image is probably not going to happen. And then for the last reason why INFPs struggle in finding love is that INFPs aren't everyone's cup of tea. They are unique people, and they can be a little weird. And like the more comfortable they are around you, the more weird they're gonna be. You know, not everyone likes that. INFPs kind of vibe to their own level, and some people are on that level and a lot of people aren't. And they desire a different type of person. And that's fine for them, but it makes it harder for INFPs to find people who genuinely like them and who they genuinely like, just because of like how like they're a little bit like different and just how they think and feel and just behave. There are people, especially intuitives, that really admire that and would really want that in a partner. So just like finding those people are less common than like the majority of the population, but they definitely exist. Another thing to keep in mind is that INFPs weren't made for this current dating culture. And we tend to be kind of old-fashioned and like we prefer serious commitment and like long-term relationships. That can be hard to find in today's world, and in just the way we operate. Like a lot of times, like things like dating apps don't work for us because we prefer to develop a connection with someone slowly. Like we like to get to know them as a friend maybe, and then, you know, keep progressing into something. In a dating app, there's like a lot of pressure to like immediately see like if you like this person enough to like go out romantically when it's like you barely know them. Kind of, I don't know, like it throws away like the natural connection you would have with them, and it kind of forces a connection. And like that does work out for some people, but I believe it's much harder for INFPs to work that way. Like I know me, like I don't think dating apps are ever gonna work right for me because that's just not how I function. I have like this certain way that I like to develop a connection with someone, and for it, like I would prefer it to be a natural thing that just happens as you get to know someone. Yeah, because of the way dating has evolved, it does make it harder for INFPs to kind of work with like what we have now in this culture. Like I believe like INFPs just want a gentleman or a gentlewoman, someone who can feed their romantic soul in a way that like hookups and stuff can't. Is kind of like a dream for INFPs, and a lot of them is like that's all they just want. Like they want to find that person who they love and who loves them. That can happen, but it may not be an easy path, and it may take some INFPs years before they find their person. So this Valentine's Day, if you don't have someone, if you're a single Pringle like me, I would encourage you to write down the standards that are really important to you in someone you imagine yourself being with. Work on yourself, work on becoming a better person every day. Keep trying, keep hoping, keep going out and meeting new people, trying to make friends. The more people you expose yourself to, probably the higher chances that you'll meet someone. That can also be hard for INFPs because like we typically have a close circle and we don't like going out and meeting a ton of strangers. But I believe that's probably helpful. And keep in mind of like not compromising yourself when it comes to love, but still being realistic in what it looks like in another flawed human being. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day. Please subscribeify if you enjoyed this video and if you would like to see more from me. I will see you next time.